Hello, everybody. Welcome to Perspectives. I'm Sam Jones, and we begin today with Trae Rahill and the Oklahoma Employment Security Commission, and Chuck Gray with the Governor's Council on Workforce and Economic Development. Guys, it's good to have you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy to be here.
Pleasure.
I don't know who to direct this first question to, but
Probably Chuck.
How do the two of you relate?
Well, very well, actually. Trae and I were in the middle of the workforce transformation when it began by the governor's task force in 2023. And that led to Senate Bill 621, which was passed, that had very focused positions for the Governor's Council and OESC. And then the governor's executive order, which established Trae as the owner of all of the federal funds oversight that are provided by the government, which was last year about $16 million. He has ownership of 2 of them, and the other 2 he has strict oversight over. And I'm the policy arm, which helps set the strategic policy and the vision for the direction that workforce is led in the state of Oklahoma, supporting job seekers, businesses making sure they have the skilled workforce they need, and the economic development objectives of the state and the chamber.
So essentially, you guys are joined at the hip.
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
Yes, sir.
You nailed it.
That's usually how we describe it. We're partners.
I'm doing something right. I understand that the passion of both of you, if you will, about workforce transformation. Who wants to handle this? But just take it and run. What is workforce
I
transformation?
can start, and then you
Please.
can probably have some things to offer.
Sure.
A lot of states across the country, especially after the pandemic, have been trying to solve for large-scale workforce needs. In a lot of cases, there are more jobs than people unemployed to take those jobs, and so the job market becomes very competitive. Employers have to work a lot harder to attract staff because the people have options. And so we have worked pretty deliberately to try and circle up all the organizations that serve workforce needs. Some of these programs live in certain agencies and others live in others. And then there are local resources that are doing workforce programming. And they're all funded by state and federal dollars. It's kind of a mix of things that we all exist in this delivery system together, but it's not been very well coordinated for a long time. So we've tried to kind of huddle everybody together around one table and vision what's the art of the possible. How well would these things work if we assembled them together in our own design? What Oklahoma businesses need, what Oklahoma people need. Because for years they've just followed the federal designs. The feds say, here's the money for these programs, here's the regs that you have to follow, and follow these designs to a T and be very compliant, and then you'll get funded next year to do the same thing. And we've kind of wanted to shake that up because we don't think it's putting us in position to pursue what businesses and people need in Oklahoma as well as what we would dream up ourselves.
I don't want to drag either one of you into a political debate here because I don't think it's fair to you.
Okay.
And I don't want to see you get fired. But being joined at the hip the way you are, neither one of you makes a move without the other one knowing it. Am I correct?
That is correct.
We communicate pretty often.
We're transparent
Very
in our
much.
communication.
When you came into this transformation thing, the short of it is changing how services are delivered to Oklahomans who need workforce help, both for the job and the right person to fill that job, becomes a monumental endeavor.
Yes, sir.
So how do you wade through it?
Some of it is we're trying to learn as much as we can about how these programs are meant to serve people and what services people and businesses need from these institutions, whether that be educational institutions, workforce institutions, commerce institutions. So we're trying to be as ambitious as we can in figuring out what should the outcomes be, how good at it should we be. And then I think we are both pretty well pledged to truth and transparency. And if the data doesn't tell us that we're doing good yet, then we're going to keep working on it, and we're going to get to a place that it is providing the value that we think Oklahomans deserve, or we're going to continue hammering away on it until it does.
Well,
The workforce really had been, I'll call it myopic, just focused on a small amount of money that would flow down to the governor's office, down through after approval by Trae and I, to the local workforce boards, to help primarily job seekers that really hadn't considered the strategic needs of business. So one of the focuses we have, since workforce is the power behind an innovation economy, is making business the focal point, because they determine what skills you need, when they need them, and the certifications that they will require, not just today, but in the future. So we're focused now on an all-encompassing workforce system that gets rid of barriers to employment. With an unemployment rate of only 3.1%, which is 26th in the nation, we have to draw from the people that aren't working. And there are 37% of eligible Oklahomans that are not working. So Trae has gotten the agencies together, to include the Department of Human Services, that have programs that would help them, for example, with childcare, with housing, with food stamps, and other needs, so that we can have a unified approach to helping job seekers grow and prosper while serving business needs, so the economy of Oklahoma can continue to grow.
I'd be curious to know, and I know the viewers would be too, do you find that most state lawmakers have no idea what you do?
I would say of the lawmakers we interact with, there is certainly more of an opportunity for them to understand the complexities of how these things work together better. But I mean, I've been in this role for 3 years and I'm still learning how it all pieces together. So it's probably, you know, I don't know that I would fault the lawmakers for that. I think we were talking on our way here. There's so much opportunity to do a better job communicating and informing and educating people on how these things really snap together to operate in an optimal way. And so finding those models and getting them implemented and monitoring them closely and seeing what works, what doesn't work, what are businesses needing, are they able to get those things, what are people needing, are they getting those things? It's an iterative process, and as we're working on it, we have to remember to be messaging and communicating well, because we wouldn't expect people to understand it if they're anywhere far from it, because we're really close and we're still learning a lot every day.
And the councils have legislative representatives that sit on the governor's council, in addition to businesses which predominate. They are over half of council members because we want it to be business-led. But the legislative representatives that sit on the council, they've held 3 interim studies, which both Trae and I have participated in. So they're on our pathway.
Yeah, they're interested and engaged. They're trying. Some of
Yes.
them, some of them understand it very well.
They really do, and we're trying to broaden that perspective so that when we come to them and request resource assistance, that we want to have data-driven decisions that say, we need money for this particular purpose, whether it's housing, childcare, or workforce skill training, that they can say, we need X number, and we need them by this time frame, and to do that, we need this amount of money, so that they would feel justified in supporting that requirement rather than us just having a bunch of fluff.
Yeah, that could be
present.
a new career tech program or a program inside a higher ed institution. It could be creating a pathway within our K-12 system for kids to see things, do some job shadowing, change our graduation requirements where they get a little more exposure. We're trying to activate as many people as we can that could have an impact on this work, and that's lawmakers, it's businesses. A big kind of driving force behind what we do is accountability for the roles that are played in this system will go a long way in making sure that things go the way that they should. And so we've kind of been preaching, let's measure it very closely. What are the outcomes we want to see out of these institutions? Are we getting them? Are we not getting them? Why or why not? We have to understand it, and we have to have data that really helps us to kind of paint those pictures and then react in real time and say, we could do better than that tomorrow. But if we're waiting on lagged data, or we don't share data across organizations, then we're guessing at some of these things more than we'd like to. We want to activate everyone, we want accountability, and plug in the ideas that work best and go as fast as we can.
Well, let me give you a little free advice.
Please.
Do not hire anybody from the media to be your flack.
Okay.
Do your own flack work, and I'll tell you why. I'm sitting here getting an education, but I've been in this business a long time. I was around before your mother even thought about you. And I can tell you flat out, there's no one in the media that I can see who could step in and run interference for either one of you gentlemen. You need to do it yourself.
Yeah, we're trying. We're trying as best we can. So we shouldn't recruit you?
No,
Okay.
Oh, gee, we were hoping we could.
I'm headed for trout fishing pretty soon anyway. Since you're 100% federally funded, that takes a lot of pressure off of the state boys, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
Well, in a way it does, but in a way it really doesn't. If they want to achieve total workforce support for the state, there is going to be needed both state funding, public-private partnerships, such as utilizing a university to help do an assessment of a business need that brings interns into them. There's also going to be messaging needed. One of the things that I think we're both very proud of is the healthcare committee on the Governor's Council has just had a career exploration fair that involved 1,700 people. Oklahoma Hospital Association co-chaired that with Career Tech. And now they're having a follow-on career fair in Oklahoma City on the 28th of October, and then one here in Tulsa at the Arvest Center in January of next year.
Well, gentlemen, we're out of time, but I want to thank you both for coming in, setting the record straight, which it needs to be, and people need to hear more from the two of you. Will you come back down the road?
Absolutely.
We'd
yes,
love
sir.
to have you back to talk
Sure.
more about this. As I learn more and the folks around here learn more, you make it a call.
We're always happy to be here. We appreciate the opportunity to speak to these things. We
We
know
do.
we need to do more of this. We're working on it as comprehensively and as quickly as we can, but we still have a lot to do. So getting the word out is a big part of it. Having people in these towns that are interested in playing ball with us,
Yes.
it makes a tremendous difference in whether we get these things off the ground successfully fast or it takes us a long time to learn through it. So you want to focus on it, we're very happy.
We're
with
here
that.
to help.
Well, again, thank you very much. We appreciate you coming in. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with more right after this. Jake Krumwiede is the Executive Director of OKPOP. OKPOP, you heard me right. And he's here to talk with us about 50 Days to Make History. What's that all about?
So we are nearing the end of our fundraising campaign. It's a really exciting time. So 50 days from our deadline. Our deadline is November 15th.
I can tell by the smile on your face, you either believe in Santa Claus or you know something the rest of us don't know.
You know, I'll just say we're about at 91% to our goal. We have a really great community of people, both in Tulsa, around the state, all of our community partners, our donors, our creative partners, the public. It's just really, really exciting to see how people are getting behind this project and are stepping up to support. It makes us feel really good.
Where did the idea come from in the first place?
Well, you know, the idea for OKPOP came out of a special exhibit that the Oklahoma History Center did a long time ago, 15 years ago almost. And there were a couple of exhibits about pop culture related things. And as they were creating those exhibits, we were starting to really see the breadth and scope of just how much Oklahoma has contributed to pop culture. And so it's really something to celebrate. There's Oklahomans behind every creative industry there is making things happen. We want to celebrate that. And more importantly, we want to inspire the next generation of Oklahoma.
Yeah. It could be anything from put this one on a pedestal or off the wall, hang it in the air.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, film, television, music, comics, literature, really there's a lot of things that fall within pop culture. But like I said, it's really impressive to see how many Oklahomans have really made interesting contributions to overall culture.
Have you been surprised at the availability of good material for the museum?
That's the fun part of our job, honestly, is being able to track down all of the collections that we want to use to be able to tell the story of Oklahoma's creativity. So it can be, you know, pieces from popular films that everyone knows and loves. You know, it's guitars and instruments that played on, you know, some of your favorite songs from your favorite bands. Finding these things, tracking them down, and finding ways to get them to be a part of our collection. It's fun. It's the fun part of our job, and it's really neat finding all the stuff. And there's some really great things that we're.
Do you ever solicit collections?
So we are mostly actively searching for things. There is a lot of instances, though, where people have sought us out and said, hey, I've been following you guys. I love what you're doing. I've got this great collection for Rue McClanahan. She was Blanche on Golden Girls. We've had a great collection come in that way from someone that sought us out. So we don't have to chase everything down. Sometimes it comes to us.
You ever have the opportunity to talk to Roy Clark?
I did. When I was at the Will Rogers Memorial Museum, that's where I started my career. I was at an event there we were hosting, and I made my way into the theater. I sat down, and I turned around and looked behind me, and right there behind me was Roy Clark, and my eyes got big, and I said, hello, Mr. Clark, and it was really, really cool. He's an incredibly nice guy.
Isn't he? Wasn't he?
He was.
He was really something.
Yeah.
You know, I had the opportunity to visit with him on a number of occasions, and he almost had a baseball career.
Yeah, he owned the Tulsa Drillers.
Co-owner.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's interesting. There's, I was a huge baseball fan when I still am, but I always dreamed of being a baseball player myself. So those stories always really resonate with me too. So another reason I love Roy Clark.
He told me one time that he had several guitars. He said, it's been my business, so that's what I've done. But one of them was made out of matchsticks by a group of inmates. I never got the chance to see it, but you might talk to his wife sometime.
I will, absolutely. That's interesting. You know, Roy Clark, he's probably hands down one of the most talented musicians, you know, from Oklahoma. Just incredible the amount of talent that guy had playing guitar. He could play almost any instrument, and he was such a talent.
And hosted the Tonight Show. He did.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you a funny story about him. There was a fellow once. Somebody said he was a great guitar player, and somebody asked him, said, "How does it feel to be the fastest guitar player in the world?" He says, I don't know, you need to talk to Roy Clark.
I have heard that story, and it might be more folklore than anything because I have heard it attached to several different guitarists.
Yeah, but this one, it fits.
Yeah, he was incredibly talented. In fact, pull up any video of him playing. It's just incredible to watch him play. He's such a talent.
Well, I think this museum deserves a place of honor, and I have believed that since the beginning and found out what all was going to be in there. Can you share with the folks at home some of the items you've got, what they might see if they come over?
One of my favorite pieces is what I call the guitar that survived the day that music died. So a lot of people don't realize after Buddy Holly, his band, the Crickets, broke up, when he was assembling a new band to go on tour, that last fateful tour, he got a session musician that played on the album that they had just released to join the band. His name was Tommy Alsop. He was from Owasso. He grew up in Claremore. And so he was Buddy Holly's guitarist on that last tour. And, Buddy Holly chartered that last plane flight for his band. Turns out the Big Bopper wasn't feeling well. He had flu-like symptoms. So the bass player in Buddy Holly's band, which happened to be Waylon Jennings, by the way, gave up his seat to the Big Bopper. And then Tommy flipped a coin with Ritchie Valens and lost the coin toss. And so Tommy and that guitar didn't get on the plane. So we have his guitar that he played on that tour. And it's a really incredible piece. And I just love the story it tells of Oklahomans kind of behind the scenes, incredibly talented in these pivotal moments in pop culture history.
I have to admit I'm guilty. I am guilty of what I'm about to tell you, but I have seen people up with their hands looking in when you're closed. Do you get much of that?
Oh, absolutely. I think people are just as excited and as anxious to see what this museum will be as we are. And that's what I love about it. Like, pop culture is fun. It's the stuff of life, as we say. It's a really interesting, authentic reflection of who we are as people. It's our likes and interests. It's what we gravitate towards: music, film. The Oklahomans that create it, it's an authentic reflection of themselves and the art that they create. And I think that's why it resonates with so many people. It's about us. This museum's a story about us. Pop culture's about people, and that's really what we are. And so I think people get excited about it because it's things they love.
I can't wait to see what happens in the next 50 days. I'm one of those that I believe for a long time. Of course, I believe in the Tooth Fairy. Honest to God, I still if I lose anything out of there, I'm going to put a quarter.
That's right.
Under the pillow.
Absolutely.
How to get there. I cannot wait to see what you have in your collection. I can't wait to let it just kind of wash over me like a wave, because you're filling in a gap that has existed in this town for a long, long time.
Sure.
The things you have might not have fit the Gilcrease or the Philbrook, or
You're absolutely right.
they needed a place to be shown. People will recognize them and go, "I didn't see that."
Yes, that's very true. There is a museum in Oklahoma that reflects so much of who we are as a people. This piece was missing, and we're really thrilled to be able to tell this story and tell it well and really reflect what Oklahoma is and those things that make Oklahoma awesome.
Well, I got to tell you, we're out of time, and it went by too quick.
Yeah.
When you achieve your goal,
Yes.
you'll go public, of course.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Big celebration.
Absolutely.
I'll be on the outside looking in. Please keep us informed.
We will.
We'd like maybe get you back after you make your goal.
Absolutely. Love to be here.
You're a
Always.
good man.
Thank you.
I don't care what anybody says.
Well, thank you. Don't listen to any of them.
We're all out of time. Well, thank you for being a part of it, and we'll see you back here next time.